Why did cones get my attention? Good question. It's quite hard to answer this without it getting really complicated and sounding kind of super pretentious, so sorry in advance for that. Sometimes I don't even understand myself, like why I'm instinctively drawn to something, and it takes a while for it to kind of bubble up and become obvious to my conscious mind. I think with cones it started as something to do with bringing together ideas about dimensionality, and I got very obsessed with making things three-dimensional from sheets of paper, which are basically two-dimensional, and that idea of creating an extra dimension from nothing became really fascinating to me. And I think that's because there's a connection to my mind, a kind of parallel to the idea in science that we're sort of surrounded by dimensions in space that we can apprehend, with having a sort of cognition that's operating differently or almost being in a different dimension to others. I think I always come back to cones because they're such a difficult geometry. Like whatever I make with them, it's a battle to make them do what I want. It's like they have their own input. And the kind of physics and geometry of the material world becomes this kind of reluctant collaborator that pushes back. So this kind of repetitive making that I get trapped in, it's like a praxis, a physicality of exploring all of that. And of course, as much as that's an abstract concern about the universe, it's also a very personal concern and a very human attempt at understanding my own cognition, my difference, my place in the world, and my feeling sometimes of being quite existentially alone in my own little dimension, I guess.